Let me speak on this. This has been something that I've been thinking about here lately, as it seems as natural immunity has started to pick up in certain areas, right? And COVID is still a hot button topic, right, in mainstream America and just in the neighborhoods as well. But I tend to stay away from COVID. Not only do I believe in universal law being in effect, I feel like you playing with loaded dice. You dig what I'm saying? In regards to what comes out of your mouth about something that's so widespread, right? First of all, you're dealing with a disease that can do anything from can do anything from nothing to you to kill you. And so with that being said, you got to always remember what it's capable of, man. And people tend to talk a certain way about it and talk, but it ain't real. And you've never heard me really cover it because I don't know what it is. I know the universe, God is at work, and I respect that. But I don't know what it is enough to get in there and say these things about it. People ask me with Joe Rogan being a case study of mine and been that for years now. People ask me how I feel about his approach to COVID. I say that Rogan is over there speaking with doctors and things like that, so that's a tad bit different. But we got certain people that'll come out and say things about COVID that I would seem to be like, oh, now do I believe that you should have to get the vaccine to, like I hear about a guy needing heart surgery and they wouldn't work on him because he didn't have the vaccine. I think that's a terrible thing, man, because we all humans, man, and we all come here, man. See, they it seems like they believe in God when it's convenient for them. Because it's no way to believe in God and let somebody die, basically, or let somebody have a slimmer chance at life because you won't operate on them because they was hesitant to do something, whether or not it could mean much to them. I always tell people why my situation is my situation. And again, with me making all my money talking, hopefully I explained it in a way that's digestible for people and they can respect me for being me, right, in regards to that. But this story that I'm about to report on is just a little bit different. And this is why I always tell people, I was just telling Shorty that, like, yo, you don't hear me talk crazy about the COVID and talk crazy. These suckers, they don't want to wear no man. I ain't doing none of that because it's God's will. It's the universe. It's His will. And I'm moving around in it trying to get rich in the pandemic. How dare I be that arrogant, right? That's the problem. A lot of people go to, you feel me? Loon can't do that. So let's look at this. This is a state trooper. So this is a Washington State Patrol officer who disobeyed a statewide vaccine mandate and sent a direct message to Democrat Governor Jay telling him to kiss my insert expletive. He's now died from COVID-19. So his name was Robert LeMay, and he has passed away. We're going to play this video, and then we'll come back and talk about a little bit about kind of these kind of situations and how they seem to be shining a light on them, and they seem to be happening more and more as we're dealing with a virus that we don't know necessarily its effects or ramifications yet. It's just not enough data. I just won't believe that. But let's look at a little bit of it. All right, so let's look at this video again, because like I say, man, I think the universe has its place. And I just think you don't disrespect the universe. So when I hear people talk about a disease that's moving around in the air and they disrespect it, like, it can't do this or that to them, or this kind of people can't be affected by it. I just don't operate with that level of confidence. And maybe I'm, because a lot of my homies, and you're going to hear us hash it out on this Up There podcast starting this year. You're going to hear me and 19 Keys get into NFTs and why do people think it means so much. And and everything surrounding that. You're gonna hear me and Ian Dunlap talk about stocks and people scamming and why I feel like some of these people can sell the same course for $5,000 that they can for $50. Something's wrong with that. You're gonna hear us have these uncomfortable conversations as we try to build in this culture and in this space. And so I just think at some point, that's necessary, but what you don't do is you don't disrespect the universe. And I stand on that. This particular guy right here, man, and again, rest in peace again for those that don't respect COVID, even in its days now where people look at it a certain way. I still know these diseases morph into other things and mutate and things like that. And so I'm still weary and somewhat apprehensive to just move around in such a way still at this point. But let's take a listen to what this particular officer said to the governor as his departure was put in place due to him not getting the vaccine, right? He's in a situation where he served 22 years on the force. And because he didn't get the vaccine, they let him go. We're going to get to that. And we also going to speak about how people who have COVID but are vaccinated can keep their job. But people who've never had COVID and not vaccinated lose their job. We also talk about that as well. But let's look at this video and then we'll go from there.
This is my final sign off after 22 years of serving the citizens of the state of Washington, being asked to leave because I am dirty. Numerous fatalities, injuries. I've worked sick. I've played sick. We buried lots of friends over these years. I'd like to thank you guys. I'd like to thank the citizens of Yakima County, as well as my fellow officers within the valley. Without you guys, I wouldn't have been very successful, and you've kept me safe and got me home to my family every night. Thank you for that. Wish I could say more, but this is it. So, State 1034, this is the last time you'll hear me in a state patrol car. And Jay Inslee can kiss my ass.
Thank you for your 22 years and 5 months of service to the citizens of Washington State. You've taken on many roles in your time as a patrol. In your first year, you delivered a baby while on patrol in Bremerton. You've been a DRE instructor, certified technical specialist, and reconstructionist, peer support member, part of the chaplaincy board, and a CBD trooper. You've been a great role model and mentor for all young troopers serving in the area by sharing your knowledge and experience throughout the years. Thank you for your service. 1906.
So there you have it. Unique situation to be in, man. Like I said, America, man, is under, and that's when I say when you deal with worldwide politics, when you look at things from a worldwide perspective, man, America's in bad shape in regards to the structure. It's outdated. It's making us fall behind in the grand scheme. I think we almost there or we're past there. I'm not sure where we are because I don't spend as much time as I would like to on it because I got so many other things that I'm at the forefront of. But we're almost to a point, or we're either past the point to where us being in control is an illusion. And when I say us, I mean the U.S., not me and you, the U.S., right? From a worldwide perspective, when you look at this thing, man, we're very limited in our abilities. The thing is, though, that we're the biggest trap in the world. We're the trap spot. America, the trap. This way you come and get everything off at. And in that, we have power, purchasing power. But as the categories get broken down, the information isn't flooded down in the same way. And so you got people, the further you go down, the less you know. And then that's how you mismanage the money because you don't know how to play with the taxes, that you don't understand certain things. And so keeps you in that vicious cycle, But I think nothing in a long time has separated us like the vaccine has. I think right before the vaccine, if you remember what America looked like, if you take a snapshot of America prior to the vaccine, we were dealing with not even the vaccine, COVID. I'm sorry. I don't want to point the vaccine out like it's an issue, right? So COVID, prior to COVID, we were dealing with, I think, the George Floyd situation. It was a high level of Black Lives Matter and police brutality and people getting shot, and it was problems. And then you also start to see people revolt a little bit. So you see the dude up in Texas that goes and grab an AR and go to shooting, at people and doing things, and people are saying they doing things in the name of justice for the other side. And so things were getting blurry. Then boom, COVID hit. Now it separates us from a totally different perspective. Now it's masked, unmasked, vaxxed, unvaxxed. Is it real? Is it not real? In the midst of that, you're dealing with election. Man, hey, yo, bro, it's been a crazy, last 5 years when you really chop it down and think about it. It's been a crazy, last probably about 5 years, been super haywire in America, man. It been super haywire in America, man. But that dude right there, man, I just hate to see. And they make sure to highlight the ones that go over and beyond to look to try to diminish what COVID's seriousness and things like that. It seems like that they highlight when those people transition due to it, because it's almost like told you so. And allegedly they were saying that CNN put a filter on Joe Rogan's video to make him look sick and old. Even Rogan posted it, right? Rogan posted where he said, matter of fact, let me see if I can find it. And so Joe Rogan accused CNN, and I have to say allegedly because I don't know whether this is the facts or not, but I do follow this story close enough to understand what I believe to be happening. But unfortunately, I can't speak on what I believe because there's legal ramifications when you deal with companies and entities as big as a Joe Rogan and a CNN. But Rogan has accused them of altering the color to make him appear to be sicker. Let's look. This comes from a Joe Rogan post on his Instagram. Let's take a look at what he said happened. Now, if you look here, go to FOGFO TV on YouTube or Pateron.com. It's up there podcast. If you look here, you see up top he has the CNN broadcast version. At the bottom, original Joe Rogan Instagram version. It come directly from Joe Rogan's Instagram page where he has a whopping 14 million followers. Let's look at it and listen to what it says.
Everything. And turns out I got COVID. So we immediately threw the kitchen sink at it. All kinds of meds, monoclonal antibodies, ivermectin, Z-Pak, prednisone, everything. And
I will say this, if they're altering the way someone looks or the color of someone and things like that, that's a very strange thing. If you want me to appear to be sicker than I am or something like that, that's a very strange thing. And I would hope that's not the case. But Rogan seems to stand by it, knowing that they have lawyers saying that, hey, basically, see, they play a different game. It's basically, I'm going to keep saying this, and if they don't sue me, it's the truth type thing. That's the kind of games they play on that level where it's where you or me will be confused as to what's going on. They just keep repeating themselves, right? And there's a legal game being played there. But in all seriousness, man, take COVID serious.